Now I want to talk about the curses and blessings attached to the second commandment. Exodus 22-6, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt. Out of the house of slavery, you shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make yourself for yourself a carved image or likeness of anything that is in heaven, on earth, blah, blah, blah. Verse 5, you shall not bow down to them to serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers of the children of the third and fourth generation with those who hate me, but showing steadfast love to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. So, D.K. Stewart wrote, by reason of having rescued Israel from slavery in Egypt, Yahweh had a claim on his chosen people. Such a claim is sometimes called a hesed relationship. Hesed is really covenant. From the Hebrew Semitic concept of hesed, or loyalty required in response to the loyalty shown. First, God talked about visiting the iniquity of the children to the third and fourth generation who hate them, because he's a jealous God, and after he's done so much to rescue Israel from slavery, and if this is what they're going to give him, he will judge them in the third and fourth generation. This will demonstrate that God is not going to be taken for granted, and he demands people who have been saved by him to show the respect and honor and love towards him accordingly. It makes sense, right? God is not going to be taken for granted. That's why God is going to pursue those who still hate him after he's done all this, rescuing them, taking them out, deliver them from the land of slavery and bondage and horrific circumstances in Egypt, where Pharaoh is pushing them to collect straw for themselves to make bricks, and it was crushing on them. Many of them died, and yet after God did the 9 plagues and part of the Red Sea and took out the 3 million Jewish people to freedom, and they still hate him and not worshiping him and following him. That is really more than just taking God for granted. And God is not going to take that. God will not take that. And that's why he's judging those who hate him to the third and fourth generation. So folks, first thing I want to say is that do not be a Christian who takes God for granted. That is serious. Do not do that. Because you don't appreciate so much. You don't give thanks, and doesn't sink in almost. So God is demanding us to respond to him. Now that Jesus died on the cross is even bigger. If we don't acknowledge that and come to him and say thank you and worship him, there will be huge trouble coming. Okay, but God also promised he will show his steadfast love for thousands of generations who love him and keep his commandments. This is covenantal promise. The point here is to show us how pleased God is to bless us and show us his promised steadfast love towards us. And this time, not just the third and fourth generation, but check it out, to 1,000 generations. To compare that, when judgment comes, 3 generations or 4 generations. But if blessing comes, it's 1,000 generations. What does that tell you? This is simply shows that our God cannot wait to bless whoever come to him as children of God, and is waiting for us.